Hello guys, and welcome to our little link summoning segment that we're going to be doing this weekend. So I've got Matt here, who's going to tell us a little bit about link summoning. We're not going to go through absolutely every detail about it, but we just want to give you a few little ideas. So Matt, first things first, tell us which cards are in the new Link Strike deck.
Okay, we'll start with the three new Link monsters that we have. We have Link Spider, Honeybot, and Decode Talker.
Yeah, so Link 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, all with the new archetype, type. These cards are played by the main protagonist from the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains anime. But in terms of this demonstration, we're not going to be entering the brains, as it were. We're just going to give you a bit of an overview on how the mechanic works. So, the first thing when we look at a Link monster is we have to note the number of Link materials needed to summon it. And you can see this by the number of arrows that are lit up in red, but you can check this just on the bottom right as well. The next thing you need to do is look at the line underneath the types. This will explain like the recipe for you to summon this monster.
Similar to how Synchro monsters work.
Yeah, exactly like that. And so what you would do for this one, it requires one normal monster. So you send one normal monster from your side of the field to the graveyard, and then you get to summon your Link monster.
And so what about new extra deck zones? We're not going to be talking too much about them.
I'm not going to be talking too much about extra deck zones, primarily because I don't have the map to show you the extra deck zones, how it all works. But yeah, you choose either then the left or right extra deck zone once you make that summon. So from there, as you may or may not know, all monsters that are going to be summoned from the extra deck need to go to this new extra zone. This will include Fusion, Synchro, Xe, or Pendulum monsters that are from the extra deck. But the way that you get around that is by using Link monsters to add additional zones that you can summon to.
Yeah, using the arrows.
Yeah, absolutely. So these Link markers, when they point to these to zones, those zones then you can use them for extra deck zones.
Yeah.
So this will allow you to do your various combos or use Castell or various bits of removal that you want to tech into your extra deck.
Yeah.
Now, the special thing about Link monsters is that they can be treated as one monster for a Link summon, or a monster equal to its number of markers already. So these two monsters actually count as free if you wanted to perform another Link summon. Because
Honeybot's a Link 2 monster.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got 2 and 1 makes 3. We check the recipe of our Decode Talker, 2 or more effect monsters. Yep. And then we get to Link summon Decode Talker.
Right, okay.
The changes this has on the game is actually quite massive. Things that you'll have to think about in the future are the formations, the way that you're placing your cards on the field. Decode Talker is just a very basic example of he gains attack and gains negation effects, depending on which cards he links to.
Yeah, so even if I've got one, Decode Talker can point at that as well.
Yes, but there's also the drawback that you can use that zone for an extra deck summon.
Yeah.
So there's it's like a two-edged sword if you've got the upwards arrow and you're using it in this way.
Yeah. So I could happily use my Bitron here to summon a Link Spider into the zone.
Yeah, that's a perfectly legal place. That's something else that you have to be aware of. While the monsters in the starter deck are pretty basic, you'll eventually start getting into situations in the game where you have arrows in different places, which will then make actually choosing the left side or the right side of the field at the beginning a very important strategic decision to your strategy. And if your opponent starts setting up on one side, that may actually have massive consequences to the way you've built your deck if you can't clear your opponent time. There's a whole lot of stuff that we're looking forward to getting into with Link monsters. You're going to see full articles about this a little bit later. I don't want to go into too much detail right now before you have access to the cards. But we've got a lot planned with Link monsters, and you're going to see a lot of great things in the coming future.
Yeah, cool. Right, man. Well, thank you very much for taking us through that. And yeah, so we're going to be back to the current format in just a few moments.
Yes, retro format for us at this point.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that, and we'll see you guys soon.